What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with This is Polly, Season 1, Episode 2. What happens at the strip club? Okay. Dot, 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 dot. Okay. But first, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can say in the algorithm. Okay. Listen, your girl is one away from 900, but we're trying to get me up to 1K. It just feel like it's been a long road just to get to 900. Is like 2 years. It took almost 2 years to get to 900. Well, I'm hoping that by the time I at least reach 2 years, I could get to 1K. It's just a road. It's just a road. I be like, Lord Jesus, I'm about to quit, but I'm not. Because I know somebody out there like me. Okay, so yes, like the channel, comment, let me know what y'all think in the comments. What's going on to the poly people in the poly world? Okay, shout out to y'all. All right, so here we go. The episode starts with Cammy, Nita, and Trent, and we meet Cammy and Trent's kids. The kids wasn't cool with things at first, but they've grown to accept, and they're now supportive of their poly lifestyle. I'm not sure why this is, but Cammy and Trent are shocked by the people, their closest family and friends, who are closed off towards them, and how judgmental people are. People are judgmental by things that they don't understand, and because they are super religious, they're never going to understand. And your job is not to make them understand. Live your life. It has no bearing. Like, what you do has no bearings over here. They can't judge you. They don't have a heaven or hell to put y'all in. Like, live y'all life. And if these people want to separate themselves from y'all, then so be it. So be it. If you guys are happy and if your kids are okay with it, then that's what. Guess what? This is your core family. Nothing else really matters outside of that. Okay? I just need ma'am, can you get a little thickness? Okay? That's all. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to do this and wipe them. That's all. It just gave me pencil. It gave me pencil. It gave me marker. All right. So Cammy and Trent. Now I think this is where Nita was getting extremely emotional, and we find out why she's extremely emotional. So they're having a conversation with their kids, and they ask their kids, they tell their kids that they wanted to do a commitment ceremony with that Cammy and Trent tells the kids they want to do a commitment ceremony with Nita, and they want their son to officiate their ceremony. He agrees because Trent actually officiated his son's and wife's wedding, and I didn't know that. They was very happy, so he must have been like one of the ministers, maybe a minister in a church back then. So Nita is just extremely emotional. The girls are like, Nita, we love you. We're glad you're here. I mean, they're really like just, showing her love. And shout out to them for not excluding her or making her feel bad based on her lifestyle, or mad or angry at her because, she's involved in a lifestyle, or making it seem like it's her fault. So, Nita, she's crying and she's emotional because she never had love or family dynamic before. She said that she lived a life alone, and now she have a family. It's always been her as a young woman, as a young girl, like her entire life. And I feel like now she's been blessed now to have a family. Like, I guess for her, this is what you would call a full circle moment, I think. But for her, she now has a family, and I'm elated about that, because she has people in her life. And I think the loneliest thing is living in this world and not having one single soul. And there are people like that. And I'm not saying there are people who have it and they enjoy it. That's one thing. But there are people who desire it and don't have it. And so they tell themselves that they don't need it, and they become ornery and mean, and they start to push people away. So yeah, I'm happy about this for Nita. You know, I'm happy about this. So we get to the Yahweh crew, okay, because they're having a gender reveal party. And we find out that they're having a Yahweh. Okay, it's a girl. And we see that Yahweh Mighty is frustrated because she wanted to have a baby as well. She has one son and that's it. But she wanted to have a child with the man Yahweh, okay? Because she see all the other women having kids. And she has to see a specialist, possibly do some IVF and all of that. She's mad about she gets mad about everything, and she says she spoke to Yahweh and at the time, and he said timing, you know, it could possibly be timing, or it just could be possibly be that, girl, you ain't meant to have a baby with this man, girl. Get out of this. Because again, in my opinion, I feel like she has been the one that has been having 1,001 complaints. She is not settled in it. She is not for sure in this. I think this is not something that she really, really wants. I think this is something that she's trying out because it sounds good. It looked good. And all of the men have broken her heart. So now she wants to try this next. So I feel like she wants to be in a she needs to be in a monogamous relationship. But because of the things she may have went through, she doesn't want to be in a monogamous relationship. So she want to be in a menage 25. Okay, I don't know how many people in that damn house, but it got to be it got to be about 23, 24, 25 people. Okay, and she's very uncomfortable with this. But you're just going to go along to get along. Again, can y'all not do that? That is stupid. But you know what? If you're happy, girl, we're happy for you. Okay? In the next scene, it's my two favorite poly lesbians. Okay? Marley and Bree, aka Ren and Stimpy. Okay? They meet a woman named Dree. I was like, Lord. Dree got a big old booty. Okay? She got a big old booty, but she don't know how to golf. Okay? So the new girl, so Dree hit them up in their DMs, and they decided to do go out on a date with her. They also wanted to go over a Q&A with Dree. So they asked her, what was her sexual orientation? She said lesbian. Okay? She's a lesbian. We're a kissing lesbian, girl. So she said, girl, I tried a man at 22, but she didn't like it. Okay? They asked her if her coochie was fresh. She said, yes, it is. Okay? They asked how solid was she, and I'm looking like, y'all see her? She a big old stallion. Okay? Y'all see the solidness on Dree? Okay? They asked if she danced. She said, and they asked her if she's danced and she's adventurous. And I want to say she said yes to both of that. They asked if she was a biatch. And she said, hell no. Okay, try that again. So they asked her, have she ever been to jail? She says once. She was like, she said, I'm not crazy. And she has a dog, but she don't like cats. So Ren and Stimpy looked at each other Like the same way they looked at the girl, they looked at each other last week when the girl told them that she was gonna circle back to them. Okay, y'all can't do that. Okay, if things don't go y'all way, if people don't like what y'all like, y'all can't be doing all of this and doing all that. Y'all gotta be okay with that. Okay, everybody's gonna be different. Okay, anyway, they asked what her fetish was, and she said she likes her booty ate. Okay, the booty hole. When I say this little show is so ignorant, but it tickles my funny bone. Okay, it definitely tickles my little funny bone. Okay, so Marley said she ain't never ate it so big. She said, but I take one side and Bria take the other side. And I said, oh, okay. So overall, they enjoyed the date with Dree. I was like, these two ladies. In the next scene, we get these two hoes that absolutely hate each other. Tamina and BQ. I absolutely am aggravated with Tamina. Okay? This woman has annoyed me and the dogs, the 4 dogs. She's annoyed all of us to no end. You are aware that the man you're with is a cheater. I think she wants to leave him and she can't leave him, but she wants to punish him. And she is just making herself miserable. And I just don't understand why you just can't leave. But we'll figure that out later on, why she can't leave. That's all I have for them. So then we get to Marley. Marley is meeting up with her sister friend China. This hoe and her nasty ass attitude. She haven't spoken to her family in 3 or 4 years because she's poly. She says she's counted out and she just want her family back together. She want to be involved in holidays as well. China enters the bar with her judgment and probably her badass decisions. Okay, girl, get the fuck out of here with that. You coming in here with this air about you and it's rather stink. Okay, that shit is rather stink. China said things got weird when Marley started becoming poly. Was it weird for them or was it weird? Did you feel weird about it? Because you said you were very embarrassed about it. She said that our family is traditional, husband and wife, married family. So this is hard. Okay. Something tells me that you and all these other hoes in your family that are married are probably dealing with a bunch of infidelity, high pH balances, and all of that while you sitting here trying to shit on this lady. While you sitting here acting like you so much better than her. But I digress. Y'all comments may not match mine, but I hate a judgmental hoe. Okay? Listen. Marley tells her that their family is a poly family and their family is good. She asks China, how's the family? And China said they're good. And I'm just like, girl, choke her. Anyway, Marley asks if they miss her because they just completely cut her off. China said to Marley, you don't understand the situation that she's putting in. Like, you don't understand the situation you're putting us in. It's a lot to take in. Now that I understand. If you tell them something that I guess goes against them and they don't want to be bothered with you by it, if you give them time and they still don't want to be bothered with it, then guess what? That's their choice. You, at this point, you can't feel away, but you also can't change who you are and what you like to make these people happy, to be in a family with these people. You create your own family. And I mean, really create your own family in decency and in order. And I feel like living this poly life, you can still do these things in decency and in order. So Marley asked, what it she was like, what are you talking? It was, I don't know. She asked her, what are you talking about your sister? I don't know. That's what it said. China said, it's not just her. It's not just my sister anymore. She asked, what do you want us to tell people when they're asking us about all of this? Marley said, fuck those people. China said at the same time, people do have questions, and people don't understand, and this isn't normal. And while it isn't normal for you guys, it's normal for people over here. You guys have, everybody has to understand that everything isn't under this patriarchy umbrella. It's not going to always be like that. A lot of things are unconventional now. Again, we have changed. The time has changed. A lot of things have shifted. Y'all know that. And everybody has seen that. And I need people to stop acting like people and lifestyles like aren't, it's always been there. People are now more outer with it because they couldn't do it before. So now people are out and proud about their lifestyle change and about the communities that they are in. But y'all make people feel bad for living different type of lifestyles. Like, that's crazy to me because of the judgment. Because of the judgment. This is why nobody confides in people no more. Like, this is why a lot of people don't feel like there's a safe space. Because this is how y'all make them feel like you're not a safe space. So, China tells her, you're not normal. You're not normal. This isn't normal. But you want to act like this is normal. Again, China, this isn't normal to you. This isn't normal to you and your crew. Doesn't mean everybody don't get it. You understand what's going on over here very well. You're just choosing not to understand, and you're choosing to keep a blind, to be closed-minded about this. This is all it is. You and her family are deciding to be closed-minded because they want this grown woman to live a lifestyle they want her to live, and that's not fair. That's not fair. I will say this. Marley needs to get a divorce. I will say that. She needs to divorce that man. If you want, again, I believe everything should be done in decency and order, and including this lifestyle. If you're going to live this lifestyle, live it how it's supposed to be lived. Other than that, I do feel like low-key Marley and Bree lives a alternative lifestyle, and it almost comes off as some type of orgy lifestyle. Like, y'all just cycling hoes. If they don't fit y'all, again, if they don't fit in a 6-month conversation, you're discarding them. And that's a them problem. They have underlying issues that they really need to sit down and deal with before they should have entered this lifestyle. I do feel like that. Anyway, I feel bad for Marley, and I'm going to say this as unkind as I can. China girl, fuck you and your entire family. Okay? It is pretty low to sit here and pass judgment on this grown-ass woman's life. You don't have to understand to support somebody. At least Marley is honest and happy in her lifestyle and whomever she decides she wants to be with. Again, I do think that Marley needs to get a divorce. If you're going to do this, you need to do this right. You came on this camera with your stank ass attitude and your judgment, and you can go choke on it. Thank you, management. Okay? And Marley, if you are watching this, okay, if you're watching my reviews because I get a little delusional, I don't mean no harm, girl. I don't mean no harm. But I just don't like when people try to bully other people and people be trying to play you. And I don't like when families do like simple bald-headed whole shit like this. Okay, I just don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, Don't curse me out down in the comments, girl, because I'm going to just say thank you for viewing my stuff. I hope you subscribe to my channel and become the 900 subscriber. That's all I'm saying. You know? Okay. When I tell you Tamina and not BQ, Tamina is so exhausting, y'all. This woman is exhausting to no end. Tamina calls BQ. He's driving. I guess he's leaving work. He picked up the phone. He was like, yo, just because they had an argument. He leave out. He goes to work. I don't want to deal with this bullshit. She's like, what do you mean, yo? Why are you picking a fight? You just want to fight with him because you're still upset that he left mad. And instead of, controlling your emotions and figuring your shit out over here, you are still carrying that anger. You've never let it go. You didn't put it down. Okay? Anyway, she said, where are you? He said, at work. She said, you just left. You are, she said, did you just leave? She is so exhausted. But that's not why you called him. And I think that's what aggravates me the most. You didn't call him to find out where he was. You didn't call him to pick. You was like, that's what she told him. She said, you just left out. We didn't finish discussing everything. Like, you're mad because he left. Like, nobody wants to continuously argue. That shit is aggravating. That's all you do because you're mad. And instead of leaving, you're going to, again, make his life miserable. But that's not making him mad. It's making you mad. Leave. It's just that simple. So this is when I realized why you're still here. She called to tell him that the landlord said, y'all have to move out in 60 days. He was just frustrated at this point. He was like, listen, I don't really care. Because she's already called him to antagonize him. Okay, normally, y'all know normally I put my foot on the man's neck real quick. But I'm on BQ side right now. She called to antagonize him. And then you called to tell him some bad news on top of that. So now you want him to process that. And then you tell him, what are you going to do? What do you mean you don't care? Now you're arguing about that because you just want to argue because you're still mad because he has lied about cheating on you. You're mad about all of it. But you can't leave because he sponsors you. He takes care of you. So you decide because this man is taking care of me and I don't have to work, I guess. I have to sit and deal with this. And really you don't. You choosing to stay and you choosing to deal with it. So my question to you is, while you're sitting there putting your Amazon press-on nails on you, what the fuck are you going to do? While you sitting there holding that damn dog and trying to do your nails, what are you going to do? Where are you looking? You just want him to do everything, right? He works. He have a right to do whatever, just like you have a right to do whatever you want. But if you're in a relationship, I get it. I get you're mad because he slept with your friend and all of that, and you cannot take it back. And I'm not telling you that you can't never be mad. I'm telling you that you are actively running yourself down in the ground by staying with this man because you completely don't trust him. So, she annoys me because you're sitting here acting like you're a princess. What are you going to do? You are a woman. Now it's time to, okay, listen. I know that this is stressful. This is how and for me, listen, I know that we got into it, and I hope that you and I can table this conversation for later. However, I got a notice from the landlord saying that we had to move out in 60 days. So I didn't want to stress you out. I know that this is stressful, but we do need to figure out what we need to do. I'll be looking at some things, looking for some things. Do you want me to find some apartments, drive around? I don't know if you have a car, if you can drive. I'm going to drive around and see if there are some houses for sale, or go on homes.com to see if there are some homes for sale. Like, it's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. Like, you just want to argue for the sake of arguing because you're mad. Like, Anyway, again, this explains so much why you won't leave. So BQ calls his friend Paulie, and he was like, what are you doing? I need a drink. Because not only did you call him with an argument, and we don't know how long that argument went on and on, you called him to tell him that they were getting kicked out in 60 days. And it was like, your attitude and your disposition was like, I'm glad something bad is happening to him, but if it's happening to him, it's happening to you too, lady. So he called his friend. He was like, listen, let's just go. I need a drink. He told Tamina that she was going to the gym, but he ended up going to the strip club and, to go get a drink and to just go get, look at some ladies and just kind of clear his mind. And people do whatever they need to do to clear their mind. Well, she put a tracker on his car and he didn't know. This is more drama on top of more drama, which is why this woman is insufferable. Like, you are doing the absolute most. So in the next scene, we get to Trent, Kimmy, and Nita. They're having a pool party to celebrate their coming out. They've received a lot of declines, and I want to say their daughter Zoe is polyamorous, and all of her polyamory friends are there. She's in a relationship with a guy and this girl, and the guy looked like Scooby-Doo. I mean, he looked like Shaggy. He looked like he was really high, though. He looked like he felt good, and hey, it is what it is. I think they were surprised that people didn't show up. And once again, it doesn't even matter. The people, they showed you that they didn't want to support y'all. And at this point, it really is what it is. There is nothing you can do. There is nothing you can say. Anyway, we get back to Bree and Marley. Marley said she was up all night crying. And Bree said, she told Bree what happened. Bree asked her, did she headbutt China? I was like, my God, on today. Oh, I did say more stuff, but you know what? I'm not going to say it today. Anyway, Bree at this point still, because China brought up Marley still being married. Now, Bree may not agree how China handled Marley. The one thing she agreed with China on is Bree still being married. I mean, that Marley is still married. Bree wants Marley to divorce. And I agree. I don't know what it is that, what kind of benefits or whatever, but y'all need to get away from that too. I think a lot of times people stay attached to people that they're supposed to be detached to a long time ago. There are people that are married that should have been divorced a long time ago, but they stay for whatever reason. And I do find sometimes in certain people, certain relationships, this is not an everybody thing, that when you let go of those things and people that are, they could be the detachment from them can be the removal of them can be the start of your blessing or whatever life you're supposed to have, you're supposed to be living. Because I don't know. I ain't never been married, so you know what? Let me not speak on that. Anyway, back over to Tamina and BQ. BQ decided to head to the strip club, and he's talking to his friend about his infidelities. Paulie feels like, Tamina is a good person, and he tries to convince BQ, that what you have is a good woman and a good person at home. And BQ was like, yeah, I know, yada yada yada. So as one of the strippers are bent over, clapping her cheeks. Okay, I like to clap, clap, clap. Okay, she was clapping them cheeks. Tamina walked in looking like a stripper. Okay, that's probably why they let her in the front door. They probably thought she was one of the damn dancers. Okay, so she walked in and saw BQ getting a lap dance. And she's mad because he's in a strip club. So she showed him the phone and she was like, you said you was going to the gym. And I was like, girl, this man have a right to change his mind. He doesn't have to go to the strip club. I mean, he doesn't have to go to the gym because you want him to be at the gym. You don't. He can cheat on you. He can cheat on you anywhere. You have seen that. Like, I get it. Him to you, it says what it says to you. What you interpret is, I'm lying to her he's lying to me once again, and I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm going to go to the strip club, and I'm gonna pick up one of these hoes. That's what it reads to Tamina, because she's still jaded, very jaded, but she won't leave. So she's gonna keep herself in this constant state of misery. I don't know why. I just feel like she needs a lot of therapy, and she needs to leave this man. And she just needs to leave the man. That's all. So in the last scene, Yahweh Mighty she's constantly irking me every time she's on screen, and we only been on episode 2. They talk about, her wanting to have a baby. He said that he offered the IVF testing, for her to have the testing, and then they'll go from there. So I guess they will have to see, how much everything is going to cost, because again, that's an expense that's coming out of their home. Marty doesn't feel like she's getting time with Yahweh. She doesn't feel like she's getting his time or his attention. And I was like, ma'am, you are sharing this man with 11 women. Okay? 19 children, a partridge and a pear tree. Okay, ma'am, please. Please become monogamous, because this isn't for you. She says she wants more time and more equal time. And I said, huh? Okay, y'all remember how Candy told Umberta, huh? When she was in her confessional, and she said, huh? After Umberta said, it could be a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bullshit. Okay? She said, I want more equal time. But I think I got what she was saying. After looking at it and literally sitting here in real current time, okay, I get what she's saying. I get exactly what she's saying. So I take that back. Anyway, ma'am, it's really giving you want monogamy. And sir, you're using all of these women to not be I don't understand that. You want all of these women to be responsible for you and to you in ways that you won't be responsible for them and to them. Then you had the audacity to tell Marty that she's nagging, she's ungrateful. Sir, no. Again, it's giving, you think you're the damn prize. And you don't want her to say anything to you. You want to be the one to say things to her. You want her to shrink herself. That's what you want. That's what you want. You want this woman to shrink herself. And I feel like if she have an issue with something, I feel like she should tell you. And I feel like you should be open to listening to that. But I also feel like, Marty, you should leave. You should take your son and leave. And you're trying to have a baby for this man. You let him and all of these kids and all of these women keep him. And you go be with you and your son. You are not tied to this. You don't have to be here. Like, you have no babies. You have no ties with him. Like, leave. This is where the episode ended. I feel like this episode was really, really good, y'all. This episode was really good. There are these people. I don't know what it's gonna look like at the end of this season. But yeah. So anyway, y'all, that's all I got. I don't have anything else. But I will say this. This is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.